Okay, so I'm going to do I did part one, and now I'm going to do part two, um, rather than try to mess with splicing right now because I need to get moving on other things. So I just demonstrated how to make this using the Stampin' Blends, and actually some watercolor markers, and hopefully threw a whole bunch of other art tips in there for you. Talked about depth and value and a lot of other things. So to put the whole card together, this is what the card will look like ultimately. Okay? And it's pretty simple at this point. The hard part I already showed you. So what to do would be, I have gray granite, which is one of the colors that I used it with markers, because that's one of the cool things about Stampin' Up! Is the markers are the same colors as are available in the same colors as the cardstock, as the ribbons, the embellishments, a whole bunch of stuff. Ink. Okay, then I have Rich Raspberry and Real Red, which are the two other colors that I used. I'm going to use Stampin' Seal to put these together. And then maybe, okay. And try to put this together. This won't be hard. Okay, put this on here. Oops. Ah. Crooked. All right, put that on. I'm gonna put dimensionals on the back of this. I usually put them like every 1 inch. In the effort of time, I'm gonna put these bigger ones a little farther apart. I actually like the littlest ones so much better, but it takes a long time to get all the backs off, so this will work. And then one more. Okay, so this will go on. Easier to do this from above. Okay, I think that's okay. Now I have this mistletoe, and I was able to die cut it using this set, and it is called Christmas Layers, and it is still available. So I put 2 out of the same sheet. I was very efficient, and I put them, like when I rolled them through, I put them on the same piece of rectangle green, the shaded spruce, and I rolled it through twice. Actually, I did once and then took it off and put it on, turned it around. Okay, so that was super efficient. So I ended up already demonstrating this, and I'm just trying to wrap this up. So I'm using a scrap. I want to show you how I made these little purple berries on the green. It was easier than you think, and I think it's cool because they're shimmery too. So I used shimmer paint. How I did this: use shimmer paint in this little bottle that has a little ball inside that helps mix it up. And I mixed it up, and then I've got some in the lid, and I'm not going to use very much of it. So I also have an Aqua Painter or water painter, whatever you want to call it. This one's neat for klutzies like me that it's got water in the barrel of the pen, if you will. I can unscrew this, add water when it runs out. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this, kind of looks like pearl when you actually use it. Okay, so I painted the little berries on with this shimmer paint, and after it dried, okay, and it takes a minute or two, so I'm not going to take up all your time, but the way I did this, and I've never seen anyone do this, this was just me playing around with stuff, okay, is I would take one of these alcohol markers. There, I just used a bunch. All right, and I colored over the shimmer paint dot. Now I don't want to do that because they're not dry yet, but by basically having a lighter base on top, you know, a solid base over the green, it was putting purple on top of white in a sense. Okay, and I think the alcohol markers work better than the watercolor markers, just because of the properties of the paint. But you probably could do it with other markers. All right, so that's how I did that. Hopefully you guys followed that. And so to attach these, I'm using a white craft glue that is called multi-purpose liquid glue. It's very I don't know, obvious name for it, generic name for it, but I'm just putting a tiny amount. It's really pretty sticky. It's really good quality stuff. Again, I endorse all these supplies and have for years. So once this dries, it does dry a little bit sticky. You can actually stick this later. You want to use good craftsmanship and not get glue everywhere. It does kind of look a little yellowy if you miss and smear it all over the place, so you don't want to do that. It doesn't have, you don't have to put it, on every single thing, but things that might snag on envelopes or hands or whatever, it'd probably be a good idea to have something helps keep it sticking down. I love that this glue has a point. You know, Elmer's glue, used to using that at school. They get clogged very easily, and I like that this does not. I spent half my time unclogging Elmer's glue bottles, it seems like. All right, so then you can take this, maybe. Oh my goodness, forgot. Gotta put the focal point, the thing that you look at first, the emphasis of your card. All right, you're gonna put that on your card. Oh, dang it. Didn't want to do that. All right, well, maybe I'll cover some of that up. So I'm going to put that more toward the top and try to center it left to right. I'm going to put a little banner across the bottom. Before I completely stick this down, I want to make sure that tree is going up and not into a weird direction. All right, now I'm going to put this fits just right. Oh, sticking my finger from here to here. With very little extra. Whoop. And then it does overlap this circle a little bit. Okay, and then this is going to go here, and I'm not going to take up all your time, but see how that nicely balances it. Okay, and then the last thing, I forgot to get that ready, but it's pretty simple. Okay, whoops, put the tops on things. Because I am a klutz, like I mentioned already. Alright, so here I have this little strip of 1/2 inch paper, and I have a skinny stamp here, okay, here, that has the words, "There's no place like Gnome for the Christmas season." Alright, so take the ink. You want to be very careful when you stamp this that you're not like rolling it all over in the ink, because that really makes a mess. When you try to stamp it, there gets to be stray marks everywhere, and that's not helpful. So, alright, I think that looks okay. Now this is going to be tricky. Try to center that. Doing this through the camera. Oh, yeah, not so much. Alright, good thing there's 2 sides. Alright, let's see. Well, not quite right, but better. So let me show you. Using this, this is called a Stampin' Score, and it's really handy for this. I mean, that's not the only way to do anything, of course, but it's got these grooves that are 1/8 of an inch apart, and that's really all I want is 1/8 of an inch apart. So I'm going to find somewhere by the end here and then make another mark there. And then I'm going to find one approximately the same distance from the words to the edge there and do another one there. All right, so then I'm going to fold that back there and then fold it back here. So we're making a little banner. You see how it makes a little zigzag? I'm going to do the same thing over here. And then zig, and then a zag. Okay, so I have a banner. Now, wow, so far it's pretty even. It sticks out about the same amount. I'm good. Wow. All right, another lid situation. Better fix that. Good habits are important, right? All right, so to do the ends of this, there's a trick. Oops, gotta see what I'm doing. All right, so halfway, and I clip up a little bit, and I figure out where the end of that little snip that I made, and I start at the corner, and I go toward that the top of that little snip I made, and I do the same thing over here. Okay? And then I do the same thing over here. And then snip there. Snip there. Okay. Now to make this popped up a little bit in the middle, and use those dimensionals again. Whoops, which fit pretty good since it's only 1/2 inch. And then I want these two to be flat, so I'm going to use, you could use glue, but it's kind of messy, so I'm going to use these glue dots. Do you see that little dot of glue? There's a glue. I'm going to press that on top of it, and then it pulls off, and it's onto my paper now. So fun. So not messy. I mean, I can deal with a mess, but I try to avoid them when I can. All right. And then when you do this, well, I hate to take up all your time, but I probably should glue this down. Oh, maybe move some of that. Okay. Good craftsmanship's important. All right. All right, so now I have my little banner. I can take the dimensionals off the middle part. The two ends are already sticky. I'm going to try to center that. And let's see. That looks about right. So then I'll put press that down. Now I'm going to push this in and make sure that's flat, and then push that down. Okay, and then I push my zigzag, remember that part? And then there, and then, so then it, see how that works? Okay, and so that's my card. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that, my part 2. I think that is a cute little card. All right, thanks a lot.